Say again.
Essential personnel are to clear the controlled area for launch vehicle ordnance. 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Good luck and
Welcome to District Championship Night of high school football throughout the listening area. Your Web TV exclusive makes its first appearance at Fox High School as the Fox Warriors are set to host the Rockwood Summit Falcons for the Class 5 District 1 Championship. And this should be a fairly interesting game through the duration of this season. Fox 8-2, Rockwood Summit 1 extra game. They come in at 9-2. That's because Fox got the first round bye in the district championship game. And we are just a hop, skip, and a jump away from kickoff. 8 minutes still on the board before we get things underway from Fox High School. As Fox trying to win the Class 5 District 1 championship, they'll have to get through Rockwood Summit to get there. We're going to have the national anthem at this time, so we'll step aside and give you the national anthem before we step into kickoff. The sounds of the Fox High School Marching Warriors. The national anthem setting the stage for district championship night. The Fox Warriors now entering the field. They're coached by Brent Tinker, and this team has come a long way from what they've put together in years past. The last winning season for Fox High School before this year came in 2009 when the Warriors posted a record of 9-3. They had a pretty good stretch from 2007 to 2009, 07, 8-2, 08, 9-4, 2007, 9-3, and then a stretch of losing seasons from 2010 to 2014. Coach Tinker has that all turned around this year. The Fox Warriors sit at 8-2, and they'll be looking across at the Rockwood Summit Falcons coming in at 9-2. Both teams just 2 losses on the season. Fox lost in week 1, blown out by Poplar Bluff 33-3, then beat Poplar Bluff last week in the district semifinals 27-21. The other loss for Fox came against Oakville on this field right here. That final score was 13-22. Rockwood Summit had back-to-back losses right in the middle of the season in week 6 and week 7, falling to Kirkwood 13-26, then losing on the road at Pattonville 7-20. Their 2 games through the district playoffs so far started with a 35-0 shutout of Parkway South, then last week defeated Vianney in a close one 35-28. Over the few years, Rockwood Summit definitely has the edge over the Fox Warriors. Their last 4 meetings, they've played twice in 2013 and twice in 2012. A 39-7 victory, a 28-14 victory, 34-0 victory, and a 49-14 victory. The last 4 meetings all going to Rockwood Summit. Rockwood brings a pretty diverse offense into the district championship game, led by their quarterback, and that is Keller, throwing for just under 2,000 yards this season. 48% passer, so not too accurate as far as statistics go, but he has found quite a few guys to catch touchdown passes from him this year. Comes in with 28 passing touchdowns, just 9 interceptions, and leading the way is Bam Gilmore for Rockwood Summit with 12 touchdown receptions. They have Jordan Halliburton with 7. and Andrew Bunchnick with 2. But they have several guys, 28 receiving touchdowns for Rockwood Summit this year. They come in with 16 rushing touchdowns, and they're led by Sam Pennington, their senior running back, who comes in averaging 5.9 yards per carry. He's over 1,200 yards on the season. and averages 114 per game and has only fumbled the ball twice this season. For Fox, led by Tony Pisoni, coming in with not the best numbers under center, but Fox really a run-first kind of team, running a triple option this season. And maybe that's where the slow start to the year came in, that loss to Poplar Bluff. And then you try to get the fluidity of a triple option going earlier in the year, and it is not an easy thing to do, but Fox has figured it out through the back half of the season, or actually before that, truthfully, because a couple of losses. They lost in week 1 and week 4 and have not lost since falling to Oakville 13-22 in week 4. And coming in, averaging 28.7 points per game are the Fox Warriors, and allowing just 14. One of the better defenses of actually the second best defense of the 21 teams that we cover at regional radio. Rockwood Summit averages 31.4 points per game and has allowed 15.3 throughout the 9-2 record that they've posted so far this season. Over the past couple of years, 6-5 last year for Summit, 4-7 in 2013, 9-5 in 2012. And if you post a 9-5 record, that's an interesting season. You went pretty deep into the playoffs to have 5 losses and 9 wins. An interesting record there. They are 9-2 coming into tonight. You see the two teams meeting at midfield, getting set for the coin toss. And it looks like we're going to find out who's going to open this contest with the football before too long. The official in the white hat standing at the 45, and the Fox Warriors will be wearing their home red uniform tonight with the white stripes down the pants, the white numbers on the back, red numbers on the white sleeves, and they have the white helmets with the Warrior logo. Rockwood Summit in white this evening, having black uniform numbers and red trim, wearing black helmets this evening. One thing that we have to note about Fox this evening, one of their leading rushers, Kalen True, is not going to be participating tonight, suffered an injury in the Poplar Bluff game last week, so that's definitely something to keep an eye on. Comes in tied for the team lead with 12 touchdowns, does Kalen True, and he'll definitely be missed tonight, so somebody's going to have to step up in his absence, and it may be Sean Chambers coming in with the second most carries this season at 80, next to True's 121. So you can see that Rockwood Summit will be receiving, and Rockwood Summit will be working from right to left, as you'll see on your screen. And as I describe the action, I'll have the call for you this evening as the Fox Warriors take on the Rockwood Summit Falcons. I'm Greg Armbruster. Behind the lens tonight, Jack Sadler bringing you the picture on J98 Web TV at mymoinfo.com. So just about to get things underway for the Class 5 District 1 Championship. Just 6 of the 21 teams that we cover in the listening area still alive playing football tonight. And Fox looking to win a district championship for the first time in quite a while. The last winning season for Fox coming in 2009, when they had 3 winning seasons in a row from 2007, 2008, and 2009. This is one of the better seasons for Rockwood Summit over the past couple of years as well. Their last 9-win season came in 2012. So Rockwood Summit looking to go 10-2. Fox looking to improve to 9-2. And Fox will be receiving over to the left side of your picture as you see things tonight. Rockwood Summit will be working from right to left. Fox set to kick off. Ball's going to start off on the 40-yard line, and we are just about to play some district championship football from Fox High School this evening. Kicking off, Corey Barnes, the junior kicker, and Barnes stands about a foot taller than just about everybody on the field. Barnes, a pretty big guy. He is the kicker for Fox this evening. 2 back to field it for Rockwood Summit, both standing at about the 5-yard line, about to get things underway. The official blows the whistle, and it's time to play high school football. It's district championship night. The kick is away, and the kick is going to stay in the field of play, fielded at the 2. Coming to the near side, and nowhere to go, as Fox all over it, brought down at the 20-yard line. So Rockwood Summit's offense, we'll get a look at them for the first time tonight, and they're going to have to go 80 yards if they want to put a ball into the end zone tonight. And they've done quite a bit of scoring so far this season. 16 rushing touchdowns, 28 passing touchdowns for Rockwood Summit on the 2015 season, and they are led by their quarterback. That's Brendan Keller. And we'll see if they spread it out early and often here. 3 receivers spread to Keller's right, 1 to the near side. He'll line up in shotgun with Pennington on his right hip. Calling for motion. A low snap. They fake the handoff, and the exchange is dropped, and Fox is all over it. The Warriors are ready to go in the district championship tonight. On the very first play, Summit is moving backwards. Fox's defense has really led the way for them all season long, and starting off pretty well so far tonight as Rockwood Summit goes backwards on the very first play. Brendan Keller is going to be charged with the loss after scooping up that fumble. So now back to the 17 after the 3-yard loss. And we're going to have a timeout here. Early in this contest, Rockwood Summit going to think things over. Coming out of the gates a little bit sloppy. And as they take a timeout, we'll let you know that our game tonight is brought to you by Linex in Arnold, the Dan Glore Foundation of Arnold, First State Community Bank, and Ozarks Federal Savings and Loan out of Festus, along with Farm Bureau agent Alan Depew. It's Class 5 District 1 Championship tonight on Web TV as the Fox Warriors are squaring off with the Rockwood Summit Falcons. Fox 8-2, Rockwood 9-2, but looking a little shaky on the very first play. So we'll come back out from the 17. It'll be 2nd and 13 with Summit trying to move forward after a bad exchange from quarterback to running back on the very first play. With 2nd and 13, 11:24 in the first quarter. Twins right, Twins left in a tight formation. Now motion from left to right. They're going to hand it off on a jet sweep, looking for the edge on the far side, and there is nowhere to go. The Fox Warriors close up. Gap discipline right there. And again, Rockwood struggling to get something going offensively. The clock will continue to run. Not even a minute into tonight's contest. Rockwood faces a 3rd and 11 from their own 19. End around, nowhere to go for Burleson. Summit's going to stay with that 4 wide. Trips left, single receiver right on the short side. And Keller awaits the snap. He gets the snap, looking to throw, comes up quick and finds his receiver, and he's going to get across the sticks and then some, and the ball pops out, and the Fox Warriors recover on a fumble after the pitch and catch, gets the first down, and Summit turns it over, and the Warriors will start in Falcon territory on their first drive. So you find the guy that you want to for Summit in Bam Gilmore. He makes the catch, turns it for the first down and then some, and coughs it up at the end of the play. So Bam Gilmore comes in with 12 touchdown receptions on the year, fumbles on his first catch of the night. Here are the Fox Warriors for the first time tonight, starting in Falcon territory. Ball is spotted on just short of the 45. Pisoni comes in and split backs behind him. Single receiver on either side. Here comes the triple option attack, and just a short pickup for Fox on the first play of the night. That was Sean Chambers with the carry, and I expected to see a heavy dose of Chambers in the absence of True, and there we get it on the very first touch. Goes for 3 yards, brings up 2nd and 7 from the 42. Pisoni will go under center, split backs behind him, and the Warriors like that triple option. He goes with the first option that time. No, he pulls it out at the last second, and Summit believes they've come up with the football. No signal just yet, but did Fox give it right back? And they sure did. They turn it over in just a couple of plays, and just like that, after starting a drive in Falcon territory on the 45, Fox coughs up the football. Back-to-back turnovers, and essentially Summit hit the reset button after Bam Gilmore's fumble. They're going to take over right essentially where Gilmore lost the football. So 2 minutes into the game, we've already seen 2 turnovers. If we average a turnover per minute, this could get ugly. It's very unlikely. Summit comes back out with a 1st and 10. Keller in shotgun. Twins to his right, single receiver to the left, and backfield is full. They're going to hand it off again. It's to Pennington. Pennington goes forward, but not too far. 2nd and 3 coming up for Summit after the 3-yard gain by Pennington. Had a little bit of a hole inside the left tackle. It closed up quickly. The linebackers for Fox all over it. Sam Ashlock making a big play. Summit comes out with a 2nd and 7 from their own 44. Twins right, wing backs everywhere in a pistol. A low snap, hands off to Pennington. He'll go to the right side. There's room there for Pennington. He breaks one tackle and stays on his feet. And he's going to be brought down just short of the sticks. Called a long 6 for Pennington. It'll be close to a first down. The chains haven't moved yet. No signal from the official, so it's likely going to be a third and very short. The officials are going to call a timeout, and our official timeouts are brought to you by Culligan Water. For better water in every room, for everyone in your home, say, hey, Culligan man today. Culligan, better water, pure and simple. That's Culligan Water in Leadington, 431-3016. So far, it's 9:09 into the first quarter, and we've seen 2 turnovers. And now Summit's offense starting to get something going. It looks like we're actually going to have an official measurement. They're going to bring the sticks out. And it looks like it's going to be just short. As they try to work out the kinks in the chain, literally. And that's exactly where it's going to sit. So with 9:09 still to go in the first quarter, the Falcons inches away from a first down. Third and very short, 9:03 to go. Keller backs up. We'll have Pennington on his right hip with 3 receivers everywhere and 1 wing back. The handoff to Pennington. He's got a hand on him, and it looks like Fox is going to bring him down short. Inches turned into a foot, turned into a yard. Fox all over Pennington on that carry. A big stop by the Fox Warrior defense, and that has been the strong suit of this team all season long. You have a solid defense and a triple option. Drives opposing coaches insane. And just like that, Fox is going to have a chance to put their offense back out on the field, barring any trick plays from Coach Stewart and the Falcons. And it looks like we're going to see something right out of the gates. We have motion with what looks like it could be 2 receivers on either side. And it is going to end up being a punt when it's all said and done, but a good-looking punt, having to come up and field it just in front of the 20 at about the 22. So Fox, after coughing up the football, keeps Summit in check and forces a punt. So a turnover and a punt for the first 2 touches for the Rockwood offense. And now Fox will come out with a 1st and 10 on their own 23 after losing the football themselves on their first drive. See if they can get something going. Still a lot of time, not even 4 minutes off the quarter. 8:05 still to go in the opening quarter of play. Fox lined up on the far hash. Single receiver spread wide right. Again, split backs with the triple option that Fox likes to run. Here it is. Pisoni takes the snap and goes with the first option up the middle. And not a whole lot of room there. That's kind of what you have to do with the triple option that Coach Tinker instilled in the Fox football team. It's brought you to 8-2. You're not going to change it now. Pisoni looks to the sidelines to get set and ready. It's Turnbow lined up as the wide receiver to the right. Pisoni will go under center with split backs behind him on 2nd and 8. Again, they're going to go with a handoff up the middle. A little bit of a delay that time, but it didn't draw everybody from the Falcon defense. Just one player, that was number 53, Bryce Edwards, that keyed on the quarterback. Everybody else stayed tight in their gaps, and it brings Fox to a 3rd and 9. Split backs behind Pisoni, single receiver on either side, 3rd down play, and Rockwood is sent in the house. Pisoni hands it off up the middle, and a decent carry, still on his feet, coming down the near side across the first down, and brought down just short of the 45-yard line. Joe Welty coming through the middle for Fox. He's going to keep the drive alive, move the sticks, and then some. Ball brought all the way up to the 43-yard line. So Welty keeps the drive alive and maybe vitalizes the offense. 1st and 10 from the Fox 43. Pisoni back under center, split backs behind him. 2 receivers off to his left. 13 on the play clock. Hard count gets the entire front 7 for Rockwood to jump. So good solid job by the Fox signal caller, working the hard count, getting some free yards out of it. So they'll walk off 5 and bring the Warriors to their own 48-yard line. Pisoni, just a junior, showing some intelligence at the football level, working that hard count. 6:33 in the first quarter, 1st and 5 from their own 48. Pisoni with split backs behind him, and again, he works it again, and it worked. It worked again. It was Bryce Edwards. So that's 3 times in 3 plays that Pisoni has got Edwards to bite on some form of a fake, and this time it's going to move the sticks. So after the big run by Welty, back-to-back penalties, and Fox in Rockwood territory, just barely to the 47. It's Welty on the near side. It's split behind Pisoni with 2 receivers off to his left. He takes the snap. They're going to go up the middle with it once again. And not much there. They'll still pick up a couple. You'll take 3 and 3 and 3 if you're Coach Tinker. At least get yourself into 3rd and manageable. And after back-to-back penalties against Rockwood, Fox finds themselves moving backwards just after being granted the free 10 yards to move into Falcon territory. A legal procedure will back them up. And now they'll face a 1st and 15 lined up in their own territory now. Lined up at about 47. So 2 receivers line up to the left. It's again split backs with the triple option set. Pisoni will go under center. And they're going to hand it off, go up the middle again. But Summit stacks the box and keeps it from going anywhere. He'll get to just about midfield. They'll spot it just short of midfield. Still in Warrior territory. 2nd and 14 after a 1-yard pickup.
2nd down, 14 to go.
We are knotted up, scoreless, 5:22 still remaining in the first quarter. It's the Class 5 District 1 championship tonight. Fox has a 2nd and 14 from their own 49. Pisoni goes under center, single receiver on either side, split backs behind him. And here is the snap. They're going to fake it. He's going to roll around to the far side, come up throwing, and it hits the receiver and falls to the turf. So that pass will fall incomplete. The first attempt for Pisoni of the night falls to the turf. And it'll bring up 3rd and 14. So what will Coach Tinker use on a 3rd and 14? Pisoni comes to the sideline. It's like he's grabbing a glove. Coming off is Chambers. Interesting. So a pretty decent personnel change as the regular quarterback lines up on the left side as a receiver. But after it's all said and done, Fox is going to have to call a timeout and think about this. With 5:04 to go in the first quarter, the Warriors call a timeout. They'll face a 3rd and 14 when we come back from their own 49. That'll happen in 30 seconds on J98 Web TV at MIMOinfo.com.
At First State Community Bank, we understand the best way to keep our community strong is to keep things local. We encourage others to shop local and bank local. And from lines of credit to merchant card services, we'll be sure to have the right solution for your small business. Remember, when it comes to your business, success starts here. First State Community Bank, member FDIC, equal housing lender. Online at fscb.com.
First State Community Bank. Success starts here.
So what sent us to break was a Fox timeout, and now we see a massive personnel change, well, really a formation change, as Pisoni, who was the quarterback, is now lined up to the left as a receiver. A trips formation to the near side with 2 lined up at the wing slot, and it's Turnbow lined up on the line of scrimmage. So here's the snap, rolling to the near side, looking to throw, and a throw nearly intercepted, a dangerous throw and it's going to fall to the turf. It was in between two Rockwood defenders, and at the end of it, there's a hold against Fox. So at 4:59, the clock will stop. And it'll give Coach Stewart a little bit of time to think about what's next. And Fox is going to have to think about that themselves after that pass falls incomplete. But it kind of makes you wonder, as you've probably seen on tape for the Rockwood side of things, that Pisoni's not going to be the guy throwing it downfield too often, if ever. So that'll be something to keep an eye on and see how Rockwood scouted that out. So with a 4th and 14, Fox going to have to bring out the punt team. And it's Barnes back to kick it away. Heels on his own 35. 2 back to field it for Summit, both on the 10. A high snap. The kick gets away cleanly. It's going to hang up for quite a while, and Fox can close on it. And it's going to take a Rockwood hop and bounce out of bounds at the 19. So we are still looking for points on the board. 4:51 to go in the opening quarter of play. And so far, we've seen pretty much the same thing from both offenses. We saw a fumble to start, followed by a punt. And it's been the same story on both sides, as Fox broke into Falcon territory for a brief moment, and penalties back them up. So now Summit gets to come back out for their 3rd try. Come out with twins right, a single receiver to the near side, looking to throw quick, and the pass is going to be caught by Budchnick, the tight end, and it'll go for a 1st down as he's pushed out of bounds at the 35. So a nice pitch and catch for Summit to the tight end, and he's been pretty busy this season, coming in with 8 grabs, 168, and 2 touchdowns. And he moves Summit a little further. Now up to the 36 with a 1st and 10. Twins to the near side, single receiver to the far side. He pulls the handoff and goes right into the turf, looking to fake the handoff to Pennington or use the misdirection to come to the near side. And Fox was all over Keller, bringing him down in the backfield. A 4-yard loss for Keller. That'll bring up 2nd and 14 from their own 32. After the completion to Budchnick, Summit spreads out 3 right, 1 to the near side. That's the short side. Here's the snap. Looking to throw to the near side, rolls and reverses to the opposite side, and is going to be brought down for a monster sack. After an amazing couple of broken tackles, Keller finally falls to the turf. And they were all over him that time. Joe Welty, the first one there to disrupt things and get the QB pressure. And given just enough time for the rest of the front 7 to close. And that brings up 3rd down and forever for Rockwood Summit. 3:20 still ticking, and 20 on the play clock. Keller will line up in shotgun, kind of a pistol set with Pennington off left. 3 wide, twins to the wide side, the near side of Keller. He takes a snap, looking to throw, comes up firing, has a receiver and overthrows, looking for Bam Gilmore, and that pass will fall incomplete. And just like that, Fox's defense steps up again. And now with a 4th and 22, Summit will bring out their punt team. So after a turnover on the opening drive, back-to-back punts. So it's going to be which defense cracks first. 3 minutes left in the first quarter. And Summit's kicking back to Fox. It's a beautiful kick, though, hanging up forever. It's going to take a high hop at the 45 and stall out right there. So the Warriors will come out with good starting field position. They'll start a drive on their own 45-yard line. And we'll do that coming up in 30 seconds on J98 Web TV at MyMoInfo.com.
Jimmy John's, America's #1 sandwich delivery, home of Sub So Fast You Freak, including Subs, Slims, and Giant Clubs. Proudly preparing a plethora of palate-pleasing products using fresh meats, fresh veggies, and fresh baked bread. Served here in the store, delivered freaky fast to your domicile. And don't forget our world-famous Jimmy Chips and Jimmy Cookies and our fabulous catering services featuring box lunches, 15 and 30-piece party platters, and 2, 4, and 6-foot subs. This is Ed. How may I help you?
Wow, that sounds good. I'll have that.
You'll have what, ma'am?
What you just said.
I'm on my way.
Jimmy John's, located on Maple Street in Farmington, delivers 7 days a week. Call 756-FAST. That's 756-FAST.
We come back just in time. Sony set back under center, and the quarterback position. A flag comes in at the back of that, and you already know, just by the body language on the field, that Fox is moving backwards on that one. Soon as the flag flew in, Welty's head hung. He kind of had the idea that that may just go against them, and it sure did. So after starting at the 45, they'll back up 5 to their own 40. It's a 1st and 15. Pisoni back under center with an eye behind him this time. He takes the snap, hands it off, and the ball's on the turf. The ball is on the turf, and Rockwood just came up with it. The Falcons, another takeaway, and that is 2 early turnovers on the Fox Warriors. Another fumble. Well, first look at the I formation for Fox, and they lose the football. And after having great starting field position once again, it's all gone after the fumble. So Summit will take over on the 37 in Fox territory. Well, just like that, Summit breathes a new life. We're still looking for our first points on the board. 2:43 to go in the first. Gilmore spreads to the right. 2 receivers stacked to the left. Now they call for motion from the near side to the far side. Keller takes the snap, puts it in the belly of Pennington. He's going to go around the outside edge. There's a little bit there for him, and a 5-yard pickup. He is smashed after a 5-yard pickup. But that turnover, if Rockwood can do something with it, really going to prove costly. The 3rd touch for Pennington. 2:24 and counting in the opening quarter. Play clock just starts to run at 23-22. Summit comes out of the huddle. Gilmore going to be spread wide left. He's got single coverage. Keller has Pennington on his right hip in shotgun. He's going to give it to Pennington. Pennington has to shake, makes a couple of guys miss, and waits for the hole to develop. And he's going to be close to the sticks, but just short. About a 4-yard pickup for Pennington. And that's going to set Rockwood up with either a first down. It's either going to be a first down or it's going to be a very manageable 3rd down. Either way you look at it, the momentum is in the corner of Rockwood Summit after the fumble and starting a drive on the 37. They will come out and measure. Already the 2nd measurement of the night. The officials putting their work in, to say the least. And another situation like we had before where it's going to be 3rd and very short for Rockwood Summit. They failed to convert previously. Can Fox come up with another stop on 3rd and short? It'd be a pivotal stop if they can do so for Rockwood. It may just turn into points. So they'll break. Gilmore spreads wide to the far side. Keller's lined up in shotgun. It's 3rd and 1. Keep your eyes on Pennington. That motion behind the line, and Pennington is going to get the touch. He's going to be brought down again. Did they come up with another stop? Pennington ran up to the line of scrimmage looking to go north-south. Had to decide to make the jump cut left, and as soon as he did, linebackers were waiting. So the officials standing at about the 27. It looks like we may have another measurement. It all comes down to the spot, essentially, after you peel the pile apart. So at 136, another measurement, the 3rd time of the night, and this will tell us if Fox did, in fact, come up with a 3rd and short stop again, or if Rockwood converted. And it's a first down at the end of that. I don't know if that's the exact thing that I saw, but then again, I'm not on the field. So nonetheless, it's going to be a first down for Rockwood Summit. With 1:36 to go in the first quarter, looking to take an early lead, but that Fox defense is not going to make it any easier.
And the 27.
Again, two receivers spread out, one on either side. Keller lines up in shotgun, Pennington on his right hip. 1st and 10 from the 27 in Fox territory. Motion from right to left. Looking to throw. Keller comes up gunning and finds his receiver, and it's going to be caught and brought down inside the 10. So Keller showing the arm. A great passer so far to this point in the season, and finding Bam Gilmore for a big chunk of yards down to the 9.
First and goal.
So Gilmore able to hang on to the football. And now inside the 10 with a 1st and 9, goal to go. Lined up on the near hash, single receiver on either side. Again, motion. They're going to hand it off to Pennington. Pennington finds an edge, and he's going to be kept out of the end zone, driven to the turf. And a big hit at the end of the play as Pennington was stood up and finished off. That was definitely one of our Crown collisions of the game. Brought to you by Crown Collision Center at Crown Motors, where customers bring their friends. Crown Collision, Highway 67 north of Farmington. A big hit keeping Rockwood out of the end zone. Brings up 2nd and 6, 36 and ticking. Left to go in our opening quarter. The play clock down to 22. And Summit still in the huddle. They finally break. Lined up on the far hash. And single receiver to either side. Keller lines up in shotgun. Pennington on his right hip. See if they work the motion again. Looks like Fox is coming. And Keller looking to throw. Looking for his receiver on the far side. And the pass incomplete. Looking to go on the back corner of the end zone. Good coverage on the outside. Single coverage. And it'll bring up 3rd down and 6. Goal to go for Rockwood, 10.4. Still on the clock in the first quarter. Can Summit punch it in? Can Fox keep them out? We are about to find out. 3rd and 6. Again, single receiver on either side. Pennington on Keller's hip. He's in shotgun. One left on the wing. A low snap. Keller puts it into Pennington's gut. Pennington looking for the edge. He's got the edge and the touchdown. And Summit makes the most out of the takeaway. They're going to go 37 yards and a handful of plays and get into the end zone with 4.1 to go in the opening quarter of play. And Rockwood Summit takes an early 6-0 lead. Those turnovers did come back to bite Fox as Summit takes the early lead, with Pennington running in from 6 yards out for the score. That was our first touchdown. It almost took 12 minutes to get it, and Rockwood gets it first. Here comes the snap, the hold, the kick, the extra point is up, and it is through. The Falcons an early 7-0 lead. With just a couple of ticks left in the first quarter of play, we'll step aside for a brief moment and come back with a kickoff up next on J98 Web TV at MIMOinfo.com.
We are willing to make home loans when others are not. This is Dennis McIntosh of Ozarks Federal Savings and Loan. A massive amount of new consumer regulations went into effect this year. Many lenders who once followed the twists and turns of the market have retreated from home lending. It's just too much, they say. But the men and women of Ozarks Federal have rolled up our sleeves and have mastered those new rules. We are ready, able, and willing to make home loans when others are not. Ozarks Federal for 84 years, the homeowners bank. Member FDIC, equal housing lender.
So 4.1 seconds to go in our opening quarter of play, and we finally saw our first touchdown of the night. It was a 6-yard touchdown run for Rockwood Summit. Sam Pennington finding the edge and getting into the end zone. Our scoring drives of the game brought to you by Auto Plaza Ford, Chrysler, Dodge, Jeep, and Ram of DeSoto and Fredericktown. Check on inventory and prices at AutoPlazaFord.com. So here comes Rockwood Summit, set to kick off after the touchdown, and a booming kick all the way down to the 6-yard line. Fielded, coming up the middle and closing through the gap, but breaks through. Still on his feet, reversing field. It's Pisoni returning the kick all the way up to the 43-yard line from the 6. Pisoni right at the end of the opening quarter of play. The zeros turn up on the first quarter clock. Pisoni with a massive return to set Fox up with more. Great starting field position, but can they do something with it? We'll have to step aside and find out as we start the second quarter up next on J98 Web TV at MIMOinfo.com.
Linex of Jefferson County offers high-performance spray-on truck bed liners backed by a nationwide lifetime warranty. The new Linex Extra high-performance spray-on bed liners are available in any factory color and are fortified with DuPont Kevlar, which provides a stronger, better-looking bed liner that is UV stable and guaranteed not to fade. Schedule an appointment by calling 636-464-2300 or go online at Linex.com. That's Linex in Jefferson County. Look for the yellow awning.
So as we start the second quarter of play, it's a 7-0 game in favor of Rockwood Summit. But Fox comes out of the gates at the end of the first quarter with a big kickoff return. And they're going to start on their own 42 as we start the second quarter of play. And as we do start the second quarter, you'll see Fox working from right to left through the duration of the first half. They trail 7-0. Can they get something going? A couple of turnovers really shooting themselves in their own foot so far as in the issue for Fox. Sony will go back under center, 1st and 10 from the 42. I formation behind him. He takes the snap, hands it off, coming up the middle, and it's to Welty. The blocker out in front, able to pick up about 4 yards. And now Fox moving ever so close to Falcon territory. They're looking at a 2nd and a short 7 from just about the 45. Sony back under center, the I formation, single receiver to the far side. Sony looks left, looks right, finally snaps it, gives it to the fullback. No, yes he does. This triple option is pretty efficient for Pisoni. Kind of reminds you of the Hillsboro offense, but a little bit more direct. So they hand it off to the fullback that time, to Chambers. And he picks up a couple. Brings up 3rd and 5 from the 47. A quick 3rd down. Can Fox convert? Chambers, Welty in the eye behind Pisoni under center. He snaps, hands off, and they're going to be short of the sticks by quite a ways. Maybe 2-yard pickup at best. Going to Chambers. And for Fox, you now look at a 4th down once again. And here comes the punt team for the Warriors. 3 and out after the big return. They're going to have to capitalize on one of these breaks. They've had a couple of bad breaks go against them. They've not capitalized on the ones in their favor. So 10:07 still to go in the half after a 3 and out. Rockwood looking to add to their lead. The punt hangs up for a while and barely fielded cleanly at the 20. And Summit will take over on about their own 20 with 9:54 to go in the first half with a 7-0 lead after their defense. We talk about how well the Fox defense has played this season. Rockwood's defense definitely no slouch and doing more than enough to stay in this game so far. They're facing a 1st and 10 from their own 21. Gilmore spreads out wide to the left. Keller backs up in shotgun. Pennington on his right hip. Single coverage all the way across. And the snap, they're going to come up, and it's nearly picked off. A tip drill and couldn't come up with it. It would have set Fox up with fantastic field position, just not able to hang on. But a great play on the outside edge to get up and get a hand on that, and nearly able to bring that one in on the far side. A great play over there. The Fox defense starting to show why they're so vaunted this year. After the incompletion, Summit looking at 2nd and 10 from their own 21. Gonna spread it out again. Gilmore heads wide left. Halliburton to the near side. Keller in shotgun. Pennington off to his right. He's going to fake the handoff. Keller is and try to lunge forward. Like he slipped trying to make the cut and falls to the turf after a short pickup. It'll bring 3rd down up for Summit. So a 3-yard pickup for Keller. He's done a lot of going backwards so far tonight. Able to pick up 3 there and bring up 3rd and 7. Those will be the field position battle. Comes down to this play right here for Fox. Single receiver on either side. Keller in shotgun. Pennington in the backfield with him. And he's looking to throw it downfield. Coming to the near side. Comes up gunning and finds his receiver with his toes right at the 40. And they call it a catch right at the 40-yard line. So a 16-yard pickup for Summit. And again, finding his safety blanket. And moving the chains up to the 41. A 1st and 10 now for Summit after the pitch and catch from deep in their own end on 3rd and 7. 9:04 to go in the first half. 2 receivers to the far side, 1 to the near side. Pennington offset right with Keller lined up in shotgun. The 1st and 10. He takes the snap, looking to throw over the far side. Comes up gunning. And nearly intercepted, maybe a little early to make the play on the ball. But good job in single coverage on the far side. And it looks like that's the way that Fox is going to match up with these receivers. It's in single coverage, and it was Travis Turnbow in coverage on the far side, making a solid play. After the incompletion, 2nd and 10, still at the 41, and 8:58 to go in the first half. Halliburton going to spread to the far side. Gilmore to the near side. Keller in shotgun. Pennington in the backfield with him. They fake the handoff. Come throwing over the middle to Gilmore. He breaks 1 tackle. He's going to pick up the 1st down and then some. Bam Gilmore starting to show why he has the numbers that he does to this point in the season. Catching another pass from Keller. Keller, 28 touchdown passes this season. 12 of those to Gilmore. So from the 41 to the 41, now in Fox territory. Gilmore spreads wide left, trips on that far side. Keller lines up in shotgun. Pennington on his right. They hand it off to Pennington. He's got blockers out front, going to be brought down from behind. The lanes just didn't develop fast enough for Pennington, and Fox closed in from behind to bring him down. A decent pickup for Pennington. Brings up 2nd down and 5. And the ball sits at about the 37. 2nd and 5, 8 minutes to go in the first half. Trips bunched on the near side. Shotgun snap to Keller. He hands to Pennington. He jumps, hurdles, makes 1 guy miss, stays on his feet, still looking for the edge, makes another guy miss, then able to turn it upfield, tiptoeing down the sideline and has to jump out of bounds after picking up the 1st down. Pennington making everybody miss on that play and picking up the 1st down and keeping this drive moving for Rockwood. Pushed out of bounds at the 20. 16 yards for Pennington. And Rockwood's offense is looking pretty good on these back-to-back drives. Be 1st and 10 from the Fox 20. Gilmore comes to the short side of the field by himself. Halliburton to the far side. Keller backs up in shotgun. Pennington offset right behind him. The snap. Keller looking for Gilmore. He is wide open in the end zone. That is a touchdown. Bam Gilmore, his 13th touchdown reception of the season, comes from 20 yards away, and Rockwood Summit takes a 13-0 lead after that pitch and catch from Keller to Gilmore. And the Warriors are on the ropes. A 20-yard pass, and Gilmore catches his 13th of the season. Extra point coming up. Fox will have to respond before the end of the half. And if they do, it'll set them up to start the 3rd half with the football. So here comes the kick. The snap, the hold, the kick is up, and it's away. It's ugly. And it does not go through. It was wide left, so we'll stay at 13-0 with 7:44 to go in the first half. Fox Warriors are starting to find themselves against the wall a little bit. Will they respond? Up next with 7:44 to go in the first half? We'll find out coming up on J98 Web TV at MIMOinfo.com.
The Glore Foundation is named in honor of the humble parents of the foundations. Founder Dan Glore, for over 30 years, has supported schools, churches, and cultural arts in the community, establishing student scholarship programs. Today, the Glore Foundation continues to embody core values, so please join the foundation in embracing its support of children, conservation, education, good jobs, medical research, and recreation. Working for a better tomorrow, the Glore Foundation.
We are at 13-0 after Rockwood scores on back-to-back drives. They missed the extra point to put us at 13-0 with 7:44 to go in the first half. Summit set to kick off to Fox. It's a high kick, and it's going to be fielded at the 7. Turning it back up the middle. Can he have another great return? Not this time. Brought down short of the 20. Looks like they're going to spot it at about the 16-yard line. So Fox a long way to go if they want to put points on the board. But at this point in time, it's not do or die situation just yet. Still a lot of football to play. 7:39 still to go in the first half. But you'd feel a lot better if you could drive down and put points on the board here. Fox will have to start on their own 16-yard line. And Pisoni comes back out to try to lead his offense down. Turnbow lines up as the single receiver off to the right of the formation. It's again split backs. We saw the eye a couple of times. Back to split backs. And the handoff going to go right up the middle, pounding his way forward, but not able to drive through the middle linebacker for Rockwood Summit. Tough to go through that fella. He filled the hole up in a hurry. That was Alex Banta for Rockwood, the senior linebacker. Met Chambers right in the hole and stood him up. Chambers did a good job to drive and pick up 4 yards, so ring 2nd and 6. Turnbow lined up to the right. Pisoni under center. Split backs behind him are Chambers and Welty. Here's the snap. They're going to hand it off. Go Chambers again, and Chambers met right at the line of scrimmage. Not much going for the triple option so far for Fox. Bring up another 3rd down. They went 3 and out on the last series. Facing a 3rd down here. No gain on the play. So let's see what formation the Warriors go with here. So again, split backs. Turnbow, the single receiver. Pisoni under center. Not a heavy pass threat, and it looks like they're going to keep it on the ground again. And nowhere to go for the run game up the middle for Fox so far, and that's going to bring out the punt team again. So they started the drive with 7:44, and they're going to punt with what could be just under 6 minutes. Well, the drive takes a little bit of time away, but it went nowhere, so it's a back-to-back 3 and outs for Fox. And they're going to have Rockwood Summit set to field this on their own 45. The kick is likely going to come inside the 10. Jake Burleson on the far side to field this, and Halliburton on the near side. And it looks like we have a timeout before we get things going, and it's exactly the case. Fox is going to call a timeout. They have a 4th and 5 from their own 21 coming up. 5:48 still to play, and Rockwood up 13-0. We'll step aside for 30 seconds. It's J98 Web TV at MIMOinfo.com.
We are Missouri Farm Bureau Insurance, and we're for the Missouri way of life. We're for worrying less about the what-ifs and more about the why-nots. We're for checking off your bucket list and then making a new one. For starting a family, a business, a tradition. And if you find yourself starting over, we're here for that too. We're for building a life in Missouri and then going out and living it. And when it comes to making sure everything you've built is protected, we're for you.
I'm Alan Depew, your Missouri Farm Bureau insurance agent. And if you're in Jefferson County, I've got you covered.
After the Fox Warriors timeout, they still face that 4th and 5. The punt team comes back out onto the field with 5:48 to go in the first half. Halliburton and Burleson back to field it for Summit. And Barnes back to kick it away, standing inside of his own 10. The kick will get away cleanly. Another beautiful kick from Barnes. Going to be fielded at the 40. And a flag comes out after a broken tackle and maybe a 3-yard return. A flag on the backside of the play. So maybe we'll see a block in the back as the flag came from the side judge on the near side. So we'll see what comes out of the flag. The clock sits at 5:38 with Rockwood up 13-0, scoring a touchdown right at the end of the first, and following that up with a scoring drive, their first possession of the second quarter. So the penalty does go against Summit, and that's pretty much what you expect when a flag is thrown in that territory, and that was the case. So 5:38 to go. Can Fox keep Summit out of the end zone? They haven't done so on the past 2 drives. They played them pretty tough on the first 3, forcing a couple of turnovers, but just couldn't capitalize. Fox has turned it over twice, and that second one resulted in a Summit touchdown. So 1st and 10 from the 34, 5:38 to go in the half. 3 receivers spread to the far side of the field. Keller lined up in shotgun, Pennington in the backfield with it. Here's the snap. And they're going to hand it off. Pennington, a lot of space this time, spins, gets up through the middle, and nearly picks up the first down. Pennington, slow going early, and has picked up the pace since. He nearly picks up the first down on that carry. A yard short, bring up 2nd and 1. Ball spotted at the 43. On the far hash. Again, 3 receivers to the left. Pennington in the backfield. Single receiver to the near side. Keller stays in the shotgun formation. 5 minutes to go in the half. Motion from far side to near side. They hand it off. Here comes a jet sweep. Can they close on it quickly? He's going to turn the edge, pick up the first down. So they get a decent pickup out of the jet sweep to Burleson. Picks up the first down from the 43 to the opposite 49. So 8 yards on that for Burleson. The second jet sweep we've seen on motions to Burleson tonight. Well, at the Fox 49, it's a 1st and 10. 3 receivers head to the far side, 1 to the near side. Keller stays in the shotgun formation, the spread offense for Summit, but they go to the handoff to Pennington. He's going to be met at the line of scrimmage. Breaks out of the first scrum, into the second scrum, and going to pick up about 5 yards. Another hard run by Pennington. And Summit taking a lot of time off the clock, trying to use every bit of that 5 minutes before they try to get into the end zone to keep it out of the Warriors' hands. It'll be 2nd and 5 from the Fox 44. 4 minutes, 20 seconds to go in the first half. Gilmore spreads to the far side. 2 with him. 3 receivers left. Single receiver to the near side. Pennington in the backfield. They're going to go back to Pennington. He's going to turn the outside edge. Everybody played the pass, and Pennington's running still on his feet, shaking and baking down inside the 30. And pushed out of bounds at about the 27. Pennington, a tough runner. Hard to bring down. He showed that a couple of times. Let's see. It's all going to be taken away from him. A flag thrown right at the middle of the field at about the 36. And it will go against Rockwood Summit. So the big run by Pennington is now going to just be a memory. Clock stops at 4 minutes. And ball backed up to about the 45. 2nd and 6. 3:45 to go. Receivers all over the place for Summit. 3 to the far side, 1 to the near side. Keller takes the shotgun snap, fakes the handoff to Pennington, rolling to the near side, comes up throwing, looking for his receiver there, makes the catch. And going to be just short of the sticks. It's going to be close. That was Halliburton on the reception. Another completion for Keller. And are we going to have another measurement tonight? We just might. This would be the 4th measurement. I don't think I've seen 4 measurements all season. So after what we'll think is a 6-yard pickup, they're going to bring the sticks out, and we'll see if Summit picked up the first down. And no, they did not. So once again, we're going to have another 3rd and short situation. Summit 1 of 2 so far on 3rd and short. Can Fox come up with a stop here? I think they just might need to come up with a stop here. 3:33 to go in the first quarter. And Summit leads 13-0. They are facing a 3rd and 1 from the Fox 39-yard line. Gilmore to the far side. Halliburton to the near side. And they work the hard count. It doesn't even matter. The hard count brings Fox across. And the 3rd and 1 doesn't matter. They'll move them 5. And the Fox Warriors doing more to hurt themselves than to help themselves so far through this contest. Couple of turnovers. A false start right there gives Summit the free first down, so it'll be 1st and 10 from the Fox 34. Gilmore spreads out to the far side. Halliburton comes to the near side. They stay tight to the formation. Pennington offset left in the backfield. The snap, they come up throwing again. It's Gilmore across the middle, and he is lit up by Pisoni. His receiver hung him out to dry, and Pisoni knocked him right off the clothesline. Jarred that ball loose. Brings up 2nd and 10. They'll stay at the 34, 2:52 still to go in the second quarter. Gilmore had the step. When he makes that first step on the slant, he's been open more often than not. It's just a matter of can Keller find him. Great size on the outside for the receivers, Gilmore and Halliburton. Gilmore comes to the near side, Halliburton to the far side. Both draw single coverage. Maybe they'll bracket the safeties over the top. Keller lines up in shotgun. It doesn't matter. They're going to hand it off to Pennington, and Pennington going to spin his way through and come out of the pile again. How does Pennington do that? He pulls the Houdini, goes down the sideline, and muscles his way into the end zone. And a 34-yard rushing touchdown for Sam Pennington. And Rockwood adds another touchdown. 3 straight scoring drives for the Falcons, and they have a commanding 19-0 lead with 2:41 still to go in the first half. Tough going so far for Rockwood, for Fox. After starting well on the defensive side, it hasn't gone so well since. And it looks like they're going to go ahead and opt to try and kick the extra point after failing to do so on the previous score. Here's the snap, the hold, the kick is up, and it is away. This time it is good, so add one more, make it 20-0 in favor of the Rockwood Summit Falcons. With 2:41 to go, Summit scores on 3 consecutive possessions, and they are starting to roll. Fox must get something going in the next 2:41. The Warriors will open the second half with the football, so you'd love to add points right here if you're Coach Tinker and the Fox Warriors. It's not going to come easy as the back-to-back possessions have ended in 3 and outs. It has not been easy going for the Fox Warriors in the first half of play. After the touchdown, they trailed 20-0, 2:41 still to go. Pisoni back to field this on the near side, and Carson Gross on the far side. It's Jimmy Shork set to kick it off for Summit. And the kick is away. Another good kick. It's going to stay just in the field of play. And no, Pisoni has to back up into the end zone to catch it. And that'll bring Fox out to the 20. And they'll have 2 minutes and 40 seconds to go. So we'll check out the Fox Warrior 2-minute offense. What you know, our game tonight brought to you by Linex and Arnold, the Dan Glore Foundation, First State Community Bank, Ozarks Federal Savings and Loan of Festus, and Farm Bureau Agent Alan Depew, making our broadcast for District Championship possible, or Class 5, District 1 this evening. And Fox trails by 20 with 2:40 to go. And they're going to have to do some serious work if they want to leave with a district championship. Pisoni will go back out and try to lead the offense. Turnbow lines out wide right all by himself. Split backs behind Pisoni. Here is the handoff going up the middle to Chambers, and there's just nothing there up the middle for Fox. Summit stacking up front. And the passing game really hasn't been a strong suit of Fox this season. And I'm sure that showed on tape for Summit. And they are loading up the box. And I'm sure the absence of True, who's one of the leading scorers of this Fox offense, absent tonight. And maybe that's starting to show. Our game also brought to you this evening courtesy of ProCare Automotive in Bonne Terre, Earth Mother Health Foods, County Do It Center in St. Genevieve, Crown Collision Center of Farmington, and Fleegs Equipment in St. Genevieve. So 3 straight scoring drives for Rockwood Summit, and they hold on to a 20-0 lead. It's been back-to-back 3-and-outs for the Fox Warriors, and they are going to definitely need to avoid that scenario on this possession. Still 2:34 to go in the first half, and Fox faces a 2nd and 8 from their own 22. Turnbow lines up by himself on the far side. Again, stacked up front. Pisoni under center. And they're going to hand it off again. It's Chambers picking up a couple. And that's just going to make it 3rd and about 5. A 3-yard pickup for Chambers. And Fox facing another 3rd down. Deep in their own territory. Ball spotted at about the 25. 3rd and 5, 2:13 to go. Pisoni backed up to his backs as the whole team looks to the sideline to get the play. And now getting set and ready. Split backs, 2 receivers this time, 1 on either side. They're going to fake the handoff, have to throw downfield. Here comes pressure, and it's a low throw and incomplete. Intended for Jaden Allen. So another incompletion brings up yet another 4th down. So 3 consecutive 3-and-outs for the Fox Warriors. So they're going to have to bring out the punt team once again. So after forcing a couple of turnovers and punts early, Fox's offense has really just gone stagnant, and that's going to leave their defense out there entirely too much. This kick's going to come from about the 12. The returners on the 40. Kick gets away clean, not as deep this time. It's going to bounce at about midfield, and Rockwood dives on it. And it looked like they thought it touched one of the players from Fox. Don't believe those officials agree. So a couple extra yards after the bouncing back and forth after the punt. Either way, Rockwood's offense will come back out with 1:44 to go, and they don't have to go too far to find the end zone. They're lined up on their own 48. A 5-receiver set. 3 to the near side, 2 to the far side. Keller lines up in shotgun with an empty backfield, looking to throw, and no, it's a quarterback keeper. The draw, it works. A great play design. Going to pick up about 9. The clock will continue to run. 90 seconds to go in the first half. It's a 9-yard run on what looked like a design keeper for Keller. A 5-wide set. Let the quarterback pick up 10. Oh, now 2nd and very short from the 42. Back to the 4-receiver set. 1 on the wing. He's going to stay back as a blocker. Keller looking to throw downfield anyway. An amazing catch. Did he come up with that? No, he dropped it at the end. Falling down backwards, Jake Burleson nearly reeled one in after bouncing off of his foot. It's going to fall incomplete. It'll bring up 3rd and very manageable. And 1:07 on the second quarter clock. Rockwood leading 20-0. They have enough time to get into the end zone. Fox needs to come up with a stop. Halliburton, Burleson to the near side. Gilmore to the far side. Offset left is Pennington. Here's the shotgun snap. They're going to give it to Pennington. He'll pick up the first down. He'll jump cut, stay on his feet, spin, make another man miss to the 30, the 20, and finally tripped up, falling down at about the 14-yard line. A 28-yard run for Pennington, shaking and baking, breaking tackles, and the spin move freeing him up. And getting deep into Fox territory. So Summit calls a timeout with 57 seconds to go. They lead 20-0, and they're now deep into Fox territory in the red zone with 57.0 coming up. So can Fox keep Summit out of the end zone? They really, really need to. If Summit scores on 4 straight possessions, and you can't go into the half with any more momentum and confidence than that. The first 3 drives for Rockwood, a turnover and back-to-back punts. Since then, touchdown, touchdown, touchdown. And it looks like they're on the doorstep for another one in the last minute of the second quarter. For Fox, it's been turnover, punt, turnover, 3 and out, 3 and out, 3 and out. So the offense struggling. The defense now on the ropes once again. And the offense inability to sustain drives. This defense is starting to wear down. Well, now we are coming back out with 57.0 on the clock. Ball is spotted on the 14. It's going to be 5 across the front or 4 across the front for Fox. The play clock down to 7, and Rockwood may just have to burn a timeout here. Play clock down to 2, and it goes 0. So they're just going to go with a delay of game. They're not going to burn the timeout as they are out of timeouts. So that was just bad clock management for Rockwood with 57.0. They'll back up to the 19. They'll be in the red zone once again. So it looked like the only player for Summit that realized what was happening was Keller, but it was a little bit too late. We'll see if they'll come out a little sooner. They do. 15 on the play clock. Keller stays in shotgun. He's got a wing back off right, about 5 yards. Trips left. Now Pennington in motion. They fake to Pennington. They pump fake and going across the middle. Turns into a tip drill that falls to the turf. They'll bring up 2nd and 15 from the 19. And 53.4 still to go in the first half. It's district championship night throughout the listening area. It's Class 5 District 1 championship from Fox High School. And Rockwood looking to take a commanding lead before the end of the half. Up 20-0. A 3-receiver set now. On 2nd and 15 from the 19. Keller takes the snap, throws, and across the middle, sliding catch is made. And Summit has to hurry up the rest of the way. Burleson on the reception, goes for a couple of yards, and Keller has to get the offense set so they can spike it. They finally get set and ready. That'll freeze the clock at 36.6, so Summit definitely trying to punch it in the next 36.6. Ball up to the 12 after the 7-yard sliding catch from Burleson. And Keller started to put together a decent stat line. All right, Summit spreads them out. 2 on the left, Burleson and Halliburton. Gilmore to the near side. Here's the snap. Keller looking to roll the near side, looking for Gilmore. He chucks it, and Gilmore not able to make the catch, and it's going to fall incomplete. The clock will freeze at 31-3. And after the incompletion, Keller looking to Gilmore. Maybe Fox finally gets a little bit of a break that they were looking for after the pass falls incomplete on what was 4th and 9. Bissoni with 31.3 brings his offense back out. Fox still looking to get on the board for the first time tonight. The offense has struggled running the football, and that has been their bread and butter this season. Bissoni back under center, split backs behind him. Turnbow, the single receiver to the far side. They're going to hand it off, go up the middle again, and nowhere to go. White jerseys creating a wall up front and filling up the A-gap with the quickness. A 2-yard pickup, and the clock going to continue to just run. They don't even have to run a play, and I'll be surprised if they do. It does not look like they will. Down to 6, 5, 4, and it looks like the Fox Warriors are going to go ahead and take this one to halftime, and they are in a hole. It's 20-0 Rockwood Summit over the Fox Warriors after 2 quarters of play. Rockwood scoring on 3 consecutive drives before coming up empty in the red zone, nearly able to score on 4 consecutive drives. Fox's offense struggled through 2 quarters of play. So after 2 quarters, it's 20-0 Rockwood Summit over the Fox Warriors. We'll step aside for a short pause and bring you halftime festivities from Fox High School coming up on J98 Web TV at MIMOinfo.com. We are back, and we're going to set the stage for the second half of play for the Class 5 District 1 Football Championship from Fox High School tonight. The Fox Warriors, it's going to be an uphill climb if they want to leave with a district crown this evening. They trailed the Rockwood Summit Falcons 20-0 after 2 quarters of play. The first quarter, for a majority, about 12 minutes or 11 minutes and 56 seconds of the first quarter, it looked like we were going to have a pretty evenly matched game. Right at the end of the first quarter, Summit punched one in with 4 seconds left and then proceeded to score on the next drive and then the next drive. Meanwhile, Fox was going 3 and out, and 3 and out. Early, Fox had a couple of opportunities that they just didn't capitalize on. Summit turned it over on their first possession of the game. Fox unable to capitalize when Fox turned it over immediately after. A couple of series later, Fox turned it over on their third possession of the night, and Rockwood Summit made the most of it, driving down and scoring the first touchdown of the game. That was the one that came with 4 seconds left in the first quarter. The Warriors have been in a hole ever since, and the problem that they're going to keep running into, they have a handful of guys that play on both sides of the ball, but with the offense not being able to sustain drives, their defense has spent a lot of time on the field, and when you have to cover a Rockwood Summit offense that spreads it out each and every down with 4 wides and 5 wides, you just can't contain, and eventually plays are going to break down. Unofficially, my first half stats are telling, and they are eerie to look at if you are one of the Fox faithful. Fox I had for 40 yards through 2 quarters of play. Not what you're hoping for if you're Coach Brent Tinker. On the flip side of that, Rockwood Summit, the running back, Sam Pennington, I had for 121 through 2 quarters of play, and Brendan Keller for 131 passing, 90 of which went to Bam Gilmore. So a lot of offense spread evenly for Rockwood Summit. See, 16 and 121, about 140 and 131 between offense or between passing and rushing. So spreading the ball out and doing that efficiently is what the Falcons' recipe for their first half success has been. With a 3-score lead at 20-0, their maybe biggest mistake after they started to get rolling was a missed extra point. And really, after stumbling out of the gates, they've picked up the intensity and looked pretty solid through the second quarter, scoring twice in the second quarter and keeping Fox from ever sustaining a drive. Fox's entire offensive possession in the second quarter can be summed up as a 3 and out with nowhere to go up the middle on the ground. So we're going to start off this second half of play with Rockwood Summit kicking off to Fox. It's going to be fielded inside the 10, jump cutting, reversing back around and trying to make something out of nothing is Tony Pisoni, and he's going to make something out of nothing and bring that up to the 26. So a decent return again for Pisoni. He had a great return earlier in the game, but Fox just couldn't do anything with the field position. Pisoni's going to set him up with decent field position to start the third quarter of play. 8 ticks off the clock in the second half, and a lot of football still left to play. If Fox can flip the script here in the second half, we could have ourselves a football game, but they need to get the offense going early. If they want to get back into this one, it's an uphill climb. The Warriors trail by 20. And they're going to start working right to left with a 1st and 10 from their own 24. Pisoni with split backs behind him. Turnbow lined up to the left as a single receiver. The handoff is going to go up the middle, and they're always going to pull it out. A great fake. Pisoni's got me twice tonight. He's got me twice tonight, and at the end of the scrum, the football pops out, and just like that, I think maybe the play fake may have gotten most of the guys on the field to stop playing. There were a handful of guys for Rockwood, Summit, and Fox playing whistle to whistle, and for Summit it paid off because another turnover from Fox. Just like that, the Warriors' drive comes to a close, and Summit is going to take over with the ball lined up on about the 34. So Summit, great field position to start after another takeaway. Keller's going to line up in shotgun. Pennington offset right with trips left. They're going to go back to Pennington, and Pennington is going to be stuffed right at the line of scrimmage and go nowhere but backwards. So Fox defense doesn't look like they're worn down yet, but if this breaks out to be a war of attrition, that favors Rockwood Summit. So that drive, that play goes backwards. Pennington stood up and driven back to about the 38, so a 4-yard loss for Pennington. He's up to 12 carries and a $117. 3 receivers split left, single to the near side. Keller lined up in shotgun. Takes the snap, looking to throw over the middle. A crazy pass, but it's caught by the tight end, Budnick, who plows his way through 3 Fox defenders and into the red zone. That is a big guy to get in open space like that. Andrew Budnick, the senior tight end and linebacker, comes up with another reception. And Fox marches down inside the red zone. Looks like they're going to spot it at the 19. So a 15-yard pickup to Budnick. And just like that, Rockwood knocking on the doorstep again. 1st and 10 from the 18, trips left. Here's the shotgun snap. They hand it off to Pennington. He's going around the outside edge, splits his way through the defender, stays on his feet, and is cleaned up at about the 5-yard line. Pennington gets down inside the 5, maybe about the 5. We'll call it a 13-yard pickup, and he earned every bit of that 13 yards. So 1st and goal to go for Summit. The ball lined up on the far hash on the 6. 10-19 still to go in the 3rd quarter. Trips headed to the near side. That's the wide side of the field. Single receiver to the far side. The shotgun snap. He hands it off to Pennington. Pennington coming to the near side. Can he turn the corner? Not this time. Fox all over it. Stuffs Pennington down at the 5. So 1 yard for Pennington. We'll bring up 2nd and 5 with goal to go. Fox came up with a stance in their own red zone at the end of the 2nd quarter. And they're trying to do just the same to open up the 3rd. After their 3rd turnover of the night, set Rockwood up with fantastic field position, and they're trying to capitalize on it. Gilmore and Halliburton lined up to the left in a trip set. Keller in shotgun, Pennington on his left hip. And the official blows the whistle. We'll have a timeout by Fox. There was a mismatch with Gilmore lined up on the far side, and the slot receiver was wide open. Fox is going to call the timeout. We'll take one with them. We're going to be back in 30 seconds with a 2nd and 5 and goal to go for Summit. That's in 30 seconds on J98 Web TV at MIMOinfo.com.
At First State Community Bank, we understand the best way to keep our community strong is to keep things local. We encourage others to shop local and bank local. And from lines of credit to merchant card services, we'll be sure to have the right solution for your small business. Remember, when it comes to your business, success starts here. First State Community Bank, member FDIC, equal housing lender. Online at fscb.com.
First State Community Bank. Success starts here.
With 9 minutes, 27 seconds still remaining in the 3rd quarter of play, we're going to come back after a Fox timeout. And they called that timeout because the Falcons are on the doorstep of another touchdown, looking at 2nd and 5 with goal to go. The ball's lined up on the near side hash. And Fox, not a lot of space and not a lot of room to breathe as they trail by 20. And Summit looking to add to that. Trips left, single receiver to the near side. If he's throwing, he's going to the left side. He's got Pennington on his left hip. Keller takes the snap. He's looking to the left all day long. Nobody there. Good coverage. He throws across the middle. Can it get... Oh, man. That may have been one of the better catches if it was pulled in that we've seen this season. It falls to the turf and brings up 3rd and 5. Clock freezes at 9:21. And Fox already had to burn a timeout. They can't afford to burn another one in this situation. Summit has so many guys on the outside that can make plays, from Jordan Halliburton, Bam Gilmore, Jake Burleson, Andrew Budgnick, all great receivers, tough to deal with. 3rd and 5, goal to go. 3 receivers to the left. Keller, the shotgun snap, puts it in the belly of Pennington. He's going to be stood up trying to go in between the tackles and brought down to the turf. Fox with a big stop on 3rd and 5 with goal to go. Summit going to be facing a 4th down. A flag came out at the end of that, and it's going to go against Fox. A huge, huge blow to the momentum after coming up with a 3rd down stop in your own red zone. A face mask is really going to put him in a precarious position now. It's going to reset that to a 3rd down. And half the distance to the goal is going to set Summit up on about the 2.5-yard line. A huge penalty right there against the Warriors. And another mistake that's likely going to prove costly. They send the 3 best receivers to the left. Halliburton, Gilmore, Burleson lined up left. Pennington on the left hip of Keller, who takes the shotgun snap. They fake the handoff. Keller's in trouble this time. So forget about the face mask. It's going to kind of work out the best it possibly could have after going from 5 yards out. The penalty brought Summit to 2.5. And on that 3rd and 2, Keller dropped in the backfield for a loss. The clock continues to run down to 8:35. Still in the 3rd quarter of play. A lot of football still to be seen tonight. A 4th and 8 for Summit. They're going to line up for a field goal. The kick will come from the 15, so we'll go to 25. Here's the snap, the hold, the kick. It is away. And it's good. It is good. So add 3 more to Summit's total. The kick goes through the uprights, and now it's 23-0 as Summit has to settle for the field goal, but they make the most of it, and they take a 23-0 lead. 8 minutes, 20 seconds still to go in our 3rd quarter of play. Fox will receive a kickoff in 30 seconds on J98 Web TV at MimoInfo.com.
Jimmy John's, America's #1 sandwich delivery, home of Subs So Fast You Freak, including subs, slims, and giant clubs. Proudly preparing a plethora of palate-pleasing products using fresh meats, fresh veggies, and fresh baked bread. Served here in the store, delivered freaky fast to your domicile. And don't forget our world-famous Jimmy Chips and Jimmy Cookies and our fabulous catering services featuring box lunches, 15 and 30-piece party platters, and 2, 4, and 6-foot subs. This is Ed. How may I help you?
Wow, that sounds good. I'll have that.
You'll have what, ma'am?
What you just said.
I'm on my way.
Jimmy John's, located on Maple Street in Farmington, delivers 7 days a week. Call 756-FAST. That's 756-FAST.
8 minutes and 20 seconds remains in the 3rd quarter of play. The Rockwood Summit Falcons added to their total, now up 23-0 after the 25-yard field goal on 4th down. So Fox, with their backs to the wall, set to receive this kickoff. It's going to go to Pisoni. He'll field it at the 14. Coming up the near side, not a lot of room to make guys miss, so he runs right into the pile and takes it up to the 31-yard line. Pisoni been decent as a return man tonight. Hasn't had the luck under center. So with 8:14 still to go in our 3rd quarter of play, the Rockwood Summit Falcons now holding on to a 23-0 lead in the Class 5 District 1 championship game. And Fox, see what they can get going here. A turnover on the last drive. They'll start now on their own 31. And the last 4 drives have gone absolutely nowhere. And that is not an exaggeration. Pisoni has it under center, split backs behind him. They're going to go to Chambers. Chambers pounding his way through the middle. And the triple option is really starting to, it seems like it's starting to confuse Summit just a little bit, but a few guys doing just enough to keep the plays from breaking out. So a 3-yard gain for Chambers brings up 2nd and 7 from the 34. Pisoni back under center, split backs behind him. Single receiver is Turnbow. They're going right back up the middle again, and there's just nothing there. The guy's still blocking downfield. and Summit pulls it out of the pile, but the play was blown dead. And no, they're going to come back to this spot and say it's Summit football. So another turnover, and Fox almost out of rounds. I think they've shot themselves in the foot 5 different times now. The clip's about empty, fellas. Summit's going to take back over in Fox territory. Just like that, another turnover. And that seemed to shock most of the Fox football players and the sidelines. Summit looking like they're going to add to this total again. Have not been stopped without it being their own decision, trying to go for it on 4th down in 5 series. So this drive's 1st and 10 from the 38. Single receiver, 2 wings. Burleson goes in motion to the far side. They're going to put it into Burleson. He's going on the jet sweep. Jump cuts back inside of the defender and able to pick up decent yardage on the jet sweep. All 3 of his carries tonight have come by the way of jet sweep. And that one goes for 4 yards. So 7:22 on the clock. A flag comes out at the end of it. It will go against Summit. So they'll back up a great deal. Back to the 44. The drive is now negative for Rockwood after starting on the 37. Back to the 44. Facing a 1st and 16. They're going to split a single receiver on either side, 1 man in the wing, and Pennington offset left. The snap, they're going to hand it off to Pennington, who will get back to the original line of scrimmage and maybe a couple more. Pennington, after struggling early on his first couple of touches, has erupted since. And if the passing game doesn't work for Summit, the run game sure has. A 2nd and 6. It was a 10-yard pickup for Pennington, his 15th carry of the night so far. Already over 120 yards and has 2 touchdowns. 2nd and 6 from the 33. Keller with Pennington offset right and 1 on the wing. He's going to come up throwing quick, and he's got Halliburton in stride for 6 more. A 33-yard touchdown strike from Keller to Halliburton, and I don't know if you can do it any better than what they just did right there. 33 yards in stride. The quarterback and receiver definitely have the chemistry, and it showed on that play. Put 6 more on the board. It's now 29-0 after Halliburton catches the 33-yard score. And Keller up to 30 passing touchdowns on the year now. An impressive passing game by Rockwood Summit. They're going to try and add 1 more and make it a 30-point game. The snap, the hold, the kick is away, and it's going to hook inside the upright. It's good. So make that 30-0. Rockwood Summit starting to roll. 6:25 still to go in the 3rd quarter. Fox, the hole is getting deep. We'll see if it gets any deeper, if Fox can respond. Up next on J98 Web TV at MIMOinfo.com.
We are willing to make home loans when others are not. This is Dennis McIntosh of Ozarks Federal Savings and Loan. A massive amount of new consumer regulations went into effect this year. Many lenders who once followed the twists and turns of the market have retreated from home lending. It's just too much, they say. But the men and women of Ozarks Federal have rolled up our sleeves and have mastered those new rules. We are ready, able, and willing to make home loans when others are not. Ozarks Federal for 84 years, the homeowners bank. Member FDIC, equal housing lender.
The touchdown rotation continues for Rockwood Summit. It was a 33-yard touchdown pass, this time to senior Jordan Halliburton. And Summit leads 30-0. Here's the kickoff back to Fox, and this one's going to go deep. Pisoni fields it 2 yards deep into the end zone, and the Warriors will start this drive on their own 20. And they have not been able to get anything going offensively. Not at all. Still under 70 yards total for Fox in this contest. Summit has 3 receivers that are pushing total yardage more than what Fox has posted in this game. So it'll be the Warriors coming out in a 30-0 hole. They'll start on their own 20. and see if they can get something going. They've been trying to get Chambers going up the middle. It has not worked. We'll see if they stay with that. It's 1st and 10 for Fox on their own 20. Pisoni under center. They're going to hand it off and go right up the middle again. And a little bit of a personnel change as, let's see, it was number 8, Kenny A., the senior, who has spent a little bit of time at quarterback. Definitely has more of the arm. Comes in right there. And maybe the biggest pickup of the night so far for Fox as he goes 7 yards. There haven't been many more than that. Again, Pisoni will line up under center. Turnbow, the lone receiver on the near side. Split backs behind Pisoni. The snap, they're going to hand it off, go right up the middle again. And still fighting forward, but not much there. Looks like the official on the far side has it marked as a first down, and that would be the first time in 6 series that Fox has gained a first down. And no, they will not after it's all said and done. So ball is moved back to the 25. It'll be 2nd and 5. Pisoni back under center. A single receiver is Turnbow, likely just a decoy. Split backs behind Pisoni. And movement up front. So who moved first? I believe it was the left tackle. Yes, it was. So Fox is going backwards. So just when it looked like the Warriors had hopes of picking up a first down, the penalty is going to make it much more difficult. It'll be 3rd and 10. And Fox back to the 20. It's Chambers and Aid back behind Pisoni. Split. Turnbow spread right. The snap, the handoff, going up the middle once again, and a good push up front. But they're going to fall short of the sticks. And that's going to bring up 4th down. The official has it marked about 2 yards short. It was a lot shorter than what I thought. So it's going to bring up 4th down, and Fox is going to keep the offense out. They want that first down. They need that first down. They have to get something going here. Pisoni under center, and here comes the house. Can they push forward for it? Yes, they will. So Fox goes with the draw. It pays off with the QB keeper, and they'll move the sticks with Tony Pisoni running up the middle. It did not look like it was going to come easy. Pisoni able to pick up plenty for the first down. Will bring up 1st and 10 from their own 37 as the Warriors still trying to get on the board. Pisoni under center, split backs behind him. Chambers. And a flag comes in as soon as the ball is snapped. So it looks like we're going to have encroachment against Summit. I want to say it was Tim Hall that looked like he came early, or thought about coming early. It will go against Rockwood, so it'll be 1st and 5 for the Fox Warriors. It's Class 5 District 1 championship, and Rockwood in control at 30-0. Fox starting to try and crawl back into it, facing a 1st and 5 from their own 42. Here comes the house again for Summit. You can see it all day. They're not letting anything come up the middle. Pisoni under center, and early movement from Chambers, and what was 1st and 5, hit that reset button. We'll call it 1st and 10. We'll try this once again. So 1 penalty against Summit. We go to 1st and 5. A penalty against Fox. We're back to a 1st and 10. Chambers left way early that time, and the absence of Kalen True is really starting to show for the Fox Warriors. True out of this game with injury and is a senior, so you definitely don't like that kind of story. 4 minutes still to go in the 3rd quarter. 1st and 10 from the 37. The Warriors trying to get on the board for the first time tonight at Pisoni. Under center with split backs behind him, and a flag comes in before the snap again. And it's going to be, again, just tit for tat. 5 yards back the other way as this is going to go against Summit. So what was a 1st and 10 became a 1st and 5, then went back to being a 1st and 10, and now we're going to go back to a 1st and 5. But eventually, we'll see a play. The ball moved back up to the 42, about the 42 and a half, inside of 4 minutes to go in the third quarter. 1st and 5 for Fox. Going to go back under center. Pisoni split backs behind him. Turnbow spread left. Single coverage on him. Doesn't matter. They're going to go up the middle and pull it out late. And Pisoni was going to try to keep it himself and was swarmed. So that 1st and 5 is now going to be a 2nd and 10 after the 5-yard loss by Pisoni. The triple option is just ineffective so far for the Warriors, and through 11 weeks of the season, it worked pretty well for them. Pisoni stands back with his backfield, getting the play. It's Chambers and Kenny Ade split back behind him. We haven't seen Welty. Welty limped off the field a few series ago. So here's Pisoni and Fox with a 2nd and 8. The handoff trying to go up the middle and squeaking out of the hole is Pisoni. Nobody saw him coming through, and he's going to pick up another 1st down, get into Rockwood territory, and they're going to mark him down at the 44-yard line.
That's enough for a 1st down.
So another 17 yards for Pisoni. He went 17, then -5, then another 17, going right up the middle. Called his own number on the play right before that, lost 5 yards. Then showed a little bit of grit and tenacity and said, let me get that again, and made the most of it. So now in Summit territory with a 1st and 10 on the Rockwood 45. Pisoni will go back under center. The big formation in front of him, split backs behind him. He takes the snap, fakes the handoff, has to throw quick, and pitches it out to his intended receiver coming out of the backfield. And I don't even know if he had time to get set and throw that as fast as the pressure came from Summit. The line moved backwards just about as fast as the defense did. And about the time the play culminated, it was over. The incomplete pass will make it 2nd and 10 from the 45. 2:28 to go in the third. Pisoni back under center, dead center, midfield. And the handoff is going to go up the middle. They're going to go to Chambers, and Chambers spins in the middle and is hit by a defender, and that's where most of his yards are going to come from, is from a Rockwood Summit tackler. Clock continues to run. Just over 2 minutes to go in the third quarter. 3rd down coming up for Fox, and 6 yards away from the sticks. Ball on the 41 in Rockwood Summit territory. The tight ends are going to flip. Ashlock and Stoppelman. Turnbow spreads out as the lone receiver. Pisoni split backs behind him, goes under center. 3rd and 6 from the 41. The snap, they pitch. Ade with blockers out front. It's Chambers. He cuts back inside and is met by the linebacking core of the Rockwood Summit Falcons, and is going to be brought down for a short loss. And it'll bring up 4th down. And Summit is just looking like a notch above with 1:25 and counting in the third. 4th and 8, and the punt team comes back out. Corey Barnes is getting a leg workout tonight. 15 on the play clock, 1:10 on the game clock. Barnes will kick this from his own 45, and it looks like Summit content to let this one take a hop. So we'll see the accuracy of Barnes here, and Fox has to burn another timeout, and they do. On 4th and 8 with the punt team out, Fox has to burn their 2nd timeout. They have 1 left, so with 57.4 seconds, the Warriors call a timeout, facing a 4th and 8. So we'll step aside for 30 seconds and likely see the punt team come back out for the Warriors. That's up next on J98 Web TV.
Linex of Jefferson County offers high-performance spray-on truck bed liners backed by a nationwide lifetime warranty. The new Linex Extra high-performance spray-on bed liners are available in any factory color and are fortified with DuPont Kevlar, which provides a stronger, better-looking bed liner that is UV stable and guaranteed not to fade. Schedule an appointment by calling 636-464-2300 or go online at Linex.com. That's Linex in Jefferson County. Look for the yellow awning.
Fox Warriors had to call a timeout with the punt team on the field. You don't want to burn a timeout like that. They've already burned up 2 in the third quarter with 57.4 to go in the third. And it looks like Fox might be working a little bit of a trick play. They've got Pisoni lined up, spread wide left. The ball is marked on the far hash at the 43. We're going to see all kinds of personnel changes. We see Nick Duran come back on, who has his hand all sorts of taped up. In a tight formation, Aid looking to throw to Pisoni, and Pisoni not able to reel it in, so the trick play fails. And Kenny Aid throws the incompletion. A flag comes out at the end of it. It will be against the Warriors. It's not going to matter. And Summit sends the offense back out, and we are a Rockwood touchdown away from turbo clock in the Class 5 District 1 championship game. Some of the other games around the listening area starting to get a little bit closer. Central, a 2-score lead over St. Genevieve. Cape Central all over Farmington. Cardinal Ritter bounced back. They're up 36-22 over Jefferson. Valley all over Mark Twain, 44-0. Afton beating Vashon. Caruthersville edging Malden at this point in time. And Thayer all over Marionville. 53 seconds to go in the third quarter of play, and Summit sends the offense back out. Keller lined up in shotgun, takes the snap about chest high, hands off to Pennington, and he is off to the races, running over everybody up through the middle, hurdling a couple of guys, and Sam Pennington, impressive. I was expecting coming into this, just based on stats, that Rockwood Summit's passing game would be really the dominant portion of their offense, but that has not been the case. And it looks like we won't be seeing Joe Welty as he's being carted off across the track. 35 seconds to go in the third, 14 on the play clock. Two receivers spread to the far side. Gilmore all by himself on the near side, single coverage across from him. Keller takes the shotgun snap. They're going to go back to Pennington. Breaks one tackle, breaks two tackles, turns the corner to the 35, the 30, the 25, the 20, to the 10, 5, and he steps out at the 4-yard line. A monster run that time from Sam Pennington, and Rockwood Summit is just doing what they want on the offensive side, so they officially mark him out at the 3. So a 53-yard run for Sam Pennington, his longest of the night, and nearly going for a touchdown. Rockwood Summit on the doorstep. 14.7 seconds to go in the third quarter. Summit up 30 and looking to pad that lead. Three receivers split left, single to the near side, and a tight end lined up in slot. So a 5-receiver set, empty backfield. It's first and goal from the 3. Keller with an empty set, takes the snap, has to throw quick, and throws it. And is it caught by Bam Gilmore? No official signal yet. There it is. He was smashed coming across the middle and held on. Bam Gilmore comes up with another touchdown reception, his 14th touchdown catch of the season. That one from 3 yards away. And we are in turbo clock mode, up 36-0. Wow. Bam Gilmore, an impressive receiver. I've got him at 6 catches for 93 and 2 touchdowns. Brendan Keller is impressive as well. The passing game, getting it done after the big run, and the extra point is blocked. You don't see that too often. That's hard to do in video games, let alone in real life. So the extra point is blocked. Will stay at 36-0 with 9.9 to go in the third quarter. Summit padding the lead with a 3-yard touchdown catch to Bam Gilmore, but it really was the 53-yard run that set it all up by Sam Pennington. Pennington in open space, not the biggest guy, not a world beater, but man, when you talk about game speed, you're talking about Sam Pennington. A 53-yard run sets up the 3-yard touchdown catch from Keller to Gilmore. Gilmore's second touchdown reception, so that's 2 for Gilmore. 2 for Pennington, 1 for Halliburton. Touchdowns for everybody on Rockwood Summit tonight. 9.9 seconds to go in the third quarter of play. And Fox, the chances are starting to look bleak. Kickoff set to come once again. Rockwood Summit has pretty much eliminated the return game most of the time tonight, and this time nearly able to do so, but Pisoni able to reel it in. He'll return that 25 yards up to the 25 after pulling it in on the goal line, and that will bring our third quarter to a close. It's 36-0. Rockwood Summit all over the Fox Warriors with 1 quarter to play. We'll step aside for 60 seconds and start the final quarter on J98 Web TV at MIMOinfo.com.
The Glore Foundation is named in honor of the humble parents of the foundations. Founder Dan Glore, for over 30 years, has supported schools, churches, and cultural arts in the community, establishing student scholarship programs. Today, the Glore Foundation continues to embody core values, so please join the foundation in embracing its support of children, conservation, education, good jobs, medical research, and recreation. Working for a better tomorrow, the Glore Foundation.
It is a 36-0 lead for the Rockwood Summit Falcons over the Fox Warriors in the Class 5 District Championship game, Class 5 District 1, and it is not going well for the hometown Fox Warriors. And most of these games, when you get into district championship games, you think, well, one team has to travel a great distance to go to the 1 seed or whoever it may be. Not really the case for Rockwood Summit, just a hop, skip, and a jump to Fenton. Well, about the shortest road game that you could have for Summit, and they've made the most of it. Looks like we're going to have a change at quarterback and a completely different formation, way big up front. They're going to hand it off this time, bouncing through the middle. And a change at quarterback for Fox. So we don't see Tony Pisoni under center. We see Kenny Aid. And the first handoff going to Chambers for 5. So several different guys out there. Pisoni spread out to the left. And 8 will go back under center. 3 in the backfield behind him. The lone receiver is Tony Pisoni. The handoff is going to come up the middle again and just nowhere to go between the tackles. The Falcons are all over it up front. Just big across the front. Xavier Brinker anchoring that front 7 on that play right there for Rockwood Summit. 11 minutes to go in this game. 3rd and 4 coming up. And Fox convert. They've struggled on third downs tonight. 8 will go back under center. 3 in the backfield behind him. Pisoni, the split left, all by himself. Single coverage over top. Well, they go to him. They're going to hand it off and try to go through the middle. And just nothing there. The holes close up so quickly. Fox has tried to work the A-gap all night, and it's just not there. So that series comes to a quick close for the Warriors. And the punt team comes back out for the rest of the way. If Fox can't get into the end zone, this clock's just going to keep burning up. A 36-0 lead for Rockwood Summit. The punt team comes out for Fox. Barnes will kick from about his own 17. The returners for Summit lined up on their own 35. It's Burleson and Halliburton back to field this. See if the punt gets away cleanly. It's a good punt, end over end, and it is dropped. Rockwood Summit tried to field it. It was Halliburton that tried to come up with it, but who's going to come out of the pile with the football? The Fox Warriors get a little bit of a break. They're going to start a drive on the 40. The muffed punt by Halliburton is going to set Fox up in Summit territory on the 40. Trailing 36-0. The officials still talking about it at midfield. A little late to discuss any changes to that one. Down to 9:20 already. This clock is just burning up. 36-0. Rockwood Summit. Fox going to start a drive. 1st and 10 in Falcon territory on the 40. 8 back under center, 3 in the backfield behind him. They split, go with the handoff to the left side, and just nowhere to go with it. Pisoni that time takes the touch and just goes for a couple. Fox trying to work any form of the offense in at this point, try to get something going. Try to get on the board and turn off the running clock. Already inside of 9 minutes. 2nd and 8 coming up for the Warriors. They're going to stick with this new formation that we've seen in the 4th quarter with Pisoni in the backfield rather than under center. Kenny Aid has the football under center, takes the snap, going to call his own number and try to lunge forward for a couple. Just nothing there. Just nothing there. So just like that, the massive personnel swap comes in for Rockwood Summit. And they're feeling pretty confident in this one. A lot of seniors on this Fox Warrior football team playing their last game in this Fox Warrior jersey. They've got 8 minutes to soak it in. We'll run through all the seniors on the Fox Warrior lineup before the end of this one. So after the turnover, it's 1st and 10 on the 35 for Summit. And now all different guys coming out for Rockwood. We're going to see the second team come in for the rest of this contest. And that carry went to Connor Balance, the junior quarterback for Summit. Kept it himself, went to the far side. And it looks like he's going to go right back to the line of scrimmage. So Hunter Balance going to lead Rockwood Summit the rest of the way. And they are going to take their sweet time on each and every snap. It seems like every time I glance up at the clock and another minute's gone. Now 2nd and 10 from their own 35s. The second team offense is out for Rockwood Summit. It looks like they run the same offense, though, for the second and first team. So I love when that happens, top down from schools like that. And again, he's going to call his own number, pull it out, and take option number 2 and try to go in between the tackles to pick it up. He'll be short of the first down by quite a bit, but able to pick up positive yardage is the junior Connor Balance, who's now come in place of Brendan Keller. So it's 3rd and 6 from the 39, their own 39 for Rockwood Summit. Now the second team out there. They break out with 10 on the play clock. Going to go twins on either side. Step back into shotgun. Balance awaits the snap, takes the snap, and a flag comes in. We'll see what the official calls here. And it was a delay of game. So the young quarterback, the second team quarterback, showing a little bit of inexperience there, not doing too great with the clock management. But nonetheless, the clock's going to continue to run with the advantage. So kind of a double-edged sword in that scenario. Here's Summit back set, 3rd and 11. Twins left, twins right. Balance takes the shotgun snap. He's looking to throw. He's a lefty. He comes up gunning, and the pass is caught at midfield and wrestled down to the turf. A great throw, a great go up and get kind of catch by Alexander Cutler, the junior receiver, number 83, coming up with a big catch, going from the 34 into Fox territory. The 19-yard reception, and that is the first completion for Balance. So Summit with a 1st and 10. Now in the Fox side of the field on the 48. 3 receiver set. Twins to the right, single to the near side. Balance steps back in shotgun and a pistol with 2 offset left. They're going to hand it off this time. Jump cut back inside, staying on his feet, and nearly picking up the first down on the first touch is Jimmy Walker. Jimmy Walker, I like the name. I like the run. Sophomore running back for Rockwood Summit. Getting his first carry of the night. Going to bring up 2nd and short. Ball spotted just short of the 41. We'll call it 7 yards for Walker. And Summit is just going to take all the time off the clock. It's going to be another couple of first downs, and this game will be on ice. 4:20 and counting. Play clock down to 7. Offense is not going to get set in time. Down to 3, 2, 1. They have to snap it. They get the snap off. Balance hands it off, and then going nowhere. Met right in the backfield as soon as the exchange happened. Jimmy Walker, after a decent pickup on his first touch of the night, goes backwards on the second. Just 4 minutes to go in a running clock. Balance stays back out to try to keep the offense moving. But this game is basically a formality the rest of the way. 3rd and 8 with a 36-0 lead. Summit gets set. Twins to the left, single to the right, one wing back to the right of balance. They're going to hand it off to Walker again. Walker is going to have to jump cut, stay on his feet, and it'll be brought down short of the sticks. It'll bring up 4th and short after a couple of yards picked up by Jimmy Walker, the sophomore running back for Rockwood Summit. And for 4th down, what will Summit do? It looks like the punt team comes out. It looked like Danny Hopkins was stretching to kick. Hopkins has not been the kicker so far tonight. We'll see if he is here. Down to 12 on the play clock. 2:50 on the game clock. Now they come out and get set. And here comes the punt team. Maybe. Here's the snap. The kick's going to get away cleanly. It's end over end. It's going to be fielded inside the 10. Trying to cut back upfield, running right into a couple of defenders and being brought down. And Fox is going to have to start a drive deep in their own territory as the second team for Rockwood Summit settles for a punt. And that will just about do it for this one. The clock will continue to run as the personnel changes happen. And we'll go ahead and step aside for 30 seconds as they swap out. And we'll be back on Web TV.
We are Missouri Farm Bureau Insurance, and we're for the Missouri way of life. We're for worrying less about the what-ifs and more about the why-nots. We're for checking off your bucket list and then making a new one. For starting a family, a business, a tradition. And if you find yourself starting over, we're here for that too. We're for building a life in Missouri and then going out and living it. And when it comes to making sure everything you've built is protected, we're for you.
I'm Alan Depew, your Missouri Farm Bureau insurance agent. And if you're in Jefferson County, I've got you covered.
1:37 to go in this contest. Fox has to start a drive from their own 17. It's 1st and 10, and Pisoni back under center. They're going to hand it off and go right up the middle again, and just not much there for the run game and the Fox Warriors. A couple of yards at best, and the next play will likely come with about a minute left to play. Slowly coming off of the field now is Sam Ashlock, senior offensive lineman / middle linebacker / wingback. Pisoni back as the signal caller now. Receivers on either side of the formation. Split backs behind Pisoni. It's 2nd down and 7 from the 20. They're going to go right up the middle with it again and able to get a few yards. Get up to about the 25. They'll still be well short of the marker. We are inside of 1 minute with a running clock and a 36-0 lead, and Rockwood Summit is going to claim the Class 5 District 1 championship on Fox High School's home field. Pisoni goes under center again, 28 seconds to go in this contest, and he's going to get set to keep this offense moving, trying to go up through the middle, staying on his feet, and Chambers able to pick up quite a few on the last, what could be the last play of this game, and likely will be. I want to run through all of the seniors on this Fox football team. Kenny Ade, Sam Ashlock, Travis Turnbow, Thomas Finn, Austin Meyer, Sean Chambers, Kalen True, Joe Welty, Fabian May, Eric Biggerstaff, Ada Sablakovich, Nathan Rotan, Brandon Whitcomb, and Jordan Hathaway. Got to give a nod to all of those guys. The majority of those guys playing their final game in a Fox High School uniform. I say the majority. Kalen True, a senior, did not play in this contest tonight. So it's the final scores, 36-0. Rockwood Summit blanks the Fox Warriors in the Class 5 District 1 championship game.